This episode of the Pixel Power Podcast is brought to you by NatureBox. GMO-free, high-fructose corn syrup-free, awesome snacks delivered right to your door. Check the podcast description for the code and get $10 off your first purchase. On with the show. Welcome to the Pixel Power Podcast, episode, I believe it's episode 11, and I'm your host, Joshua Mobley. Nobody's with me this week, because no one's around for some reason, and I needed to get the show out, so I'm doing this a little bit different than I usually do. It's going to be a bit of a different format. We'll see how it goes. Might do more of these the time, because I realize that the shows have been super inconsistent. They've been going up at weird inconsistent times, and I'm kind of tired of it. I want to keep this show weekly, as always. So to do that, I might have to do solo shows every so often. So this will be the first. I mean, these probably won't happen that often, but they'll happen. Just when people aren't around, when admin's not around, that's when this is going. I'm kind of going to take out all of the normal like transitions and stuff. Just for these solo episodes, it's just going to be me talking. But I would like some feedback on this format. So if you want to tweet at the show, it's at PixelPowerPod on Twitter. It's all one word, no weird underscores, no caps. Or you can email. Our show email is podcast@VGU.TV. And of course, you can also send your questions. I don't have any questions this week because we haven't had questions the last couple weeks. Just because either we haven't had enough time or we're pretty much not getting any, something like that. But if you want your question answered on the air in the future, just send them through Twitter or through email, and I will repeat them in the outro as well, in case you were wondering. Let's see. Well, with this show, we don't usually talk about what we've been playing, so I'm not going to do that anymore. But we do have, it was kind of a slow news week, to be honest. So there's not too much to talk about. This won't be a crazy long episode, but there's a couple things. And of course, Octodad came out, so I can talk about that a bit. And most of the stuff that came out this week was like trailers and some demo stuff, and there was a Titanfall patch, which it came out today, I think. And I'm not entirely sure what's in the Titanfall patch, to be honest. I played a little bit, and it does feel different a little bit. There's some changes, but I don't know what they are. I have to look into it. Either way. So, yes, Octodad came out this week on the PSN store. I believe it's been out on the PC for a while now, but it's finally come to the PS4. It's the first time I've played it. I've only played probably like the first two levels, I guess. I've done this. I did the supermarket, and I got to the aquarium, but I didn't do the aquarium yet. Before you get mad and start sending me hate mail for what I'm about to say, let me finish. I don't think the game is that great in terms of gameplay, at least. Like the game, it's kind of made not to be intuitive because it's funny that you're knocking literally everything over and you're trying not to. That's part of what makes the game funny. But I think the story and the dialogue and the characters and the subtitles and stuff make the game really funny, and the art style is good, and I just think it's one of those games that you're going to play once and then you're never going to play again, like ever. You're never going to be like a year or two from now, you're never going to go, man, I really want to play Octodad again and, re-download it. I feel like I'm going to beat it. I'm like, oh, that was fun, and delete it off my PS4 and just never play it ever again. But I don't want to dissuade people from going out and buying it, because I think it is funny. You know, it's not a great game, but it's good because it's funny, and because it will make you laugh out loud. I've laughed out loud. The theme song is great. And just like knocking everything over. You know, I tried so hard, especially in the wedding. I tried so hard not to knock anything over. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be so careful. And you can't be. It's impossible. It's impossible. But yeah. I'm not reviewing it. I don't know who's reviewing it for VGU, actually. I should check into that. But I would give it like a 7 out of 10. Although we don't do number scores, so I'd give it like a C. But yeah, I while it's $11, if you have PS Plus, by the way, it's only like 11 something. It's like 11.23 or some. It's a really weird price, but it's like $11. Normally I think it's like 15. I don't know if I would go for 15, but if you can get it right now for like 11, I think it's a pretty good price. I think it's worth it. You'll laugh, especially if you have kids, or you know you play it with your significant other or something like that. I think you'll enjoy it. It is funny. So there you go. I do recommend it. So go out and get that. Anyway, I guess we can now move on to the news. Not a whole lot of stuff came out this week other than that. However, on PlayStation Plus, what's it called? Pixel Junk Monsters Ultimate HD came out for free, which I had never played. Finally played it. Really fun game. Really pretty. It kind of takes the tower defense game and adds like a new little thing into it where you actually just control one guy and you have to run around and like build the towers yourself. You can't just warp them in like you're God, which I actually like. It's a fun game, and it's also pretty, and it's free. It's free right now, so you might as well go download it and give it a shot. Even if you don't like tower defense games, I still think you should give it a shot. Anyway, moving on, we can move on to the news, and this is going to be weird, because usually on the show we don't just read the news. We usually talk about the biggest news stories, and we have, our panel of experts, where we all talk about how we feel about each thing and all that. Thing is, nobody's here. So you're just going to be hearing me jab on about everything. Actually, now that I think about it, probably won't cover a few of these news stories like that one. I probably won't. Like I said, not a lot of news this week, but there were a couple of interesting stories. Like this one, which just came out today. GameStop is closing 120 stores, focusing on mobile. IGN writes, GameStop is looking to expand its reach in what it deems more viable markets while shedding some weight from its traditional brick-and-mortar GameSpot stores. CEO Paul Raines gave a presentation at GameStop. I want to keep saying GameSpot. GameStop's 2014 investor, as reported by Games Industry International, and revealed his plans for what he's calling GameStop 3.0. Quote, a new phase of the company's lifespan that will see it aggressively expanding its footprint into gaming-adjacent tech fields. As such, GameStop has its collective eye set on mobile and specifically on Apple-branded devices like iPhone and iPad. GameStop-owned brands like Spring Mobile and Simply Mac will expand at a significant rate in the fiscal year to fulfill Raines' goals for the company. And they are closing between 120 and 130 of its nearly 6,500 stores. That's kind of a lot. They're letting go of probably over somewhere between 1,000 to 2,000 people. I think 1,000's being what's the word? Conservative. I think 1,000's being a bit conservative. Maybe around like 1,500 people. So 1,500 people that work at GameStop losing their jobs, and they're going into this weird mobile thing, which I don't quite understand. When I first saw this story, I thought maybe they were like, we're going to sell mobile games, and I was like, how are you going to do that? Because it didn't make any sense to me. It was like, are you, like, we already have the App Store, we have Google Play. Like, what do you mean you're going to sell mobile games? It's like, are you going to have a Congregate app where, like, people play your weird Congregate games? I don't know a single person alive that's ever used Congregate, so... and for those of you that don't know, Congregate was this weird thing that GameStop was always pushing on you. They're like, oh, it's like thousands of free games, but they weren't very good. They were all like in the browser and Flash-based, and you're like, I don't really have time for that. And then they kind of stopped. Then again, I haven't been in a GameStop like since I got a PS4 because I'm all digital now. Don't really care about that. Although when I did see this story this morning before reading it, I saw the headline, which was like, "Oh, they're closing 120 stores," and my immediate reaction was, "Oh no, it's happening!" Just the digital age is coming. But yeah, that's all that we can really say about that. I think it's interesting. I think in the next 5 years you'll probably see GameStop go away in a sense. The stores will still be there, but I don't think they'll be called GameStop anymore. Especially if they're going to turn into like weird mobile stores, they'll probably be like hybrid kind of. They'll change the name. They'll go back to like Funko Land or something, because technically GameStop bought Funko Land out and then kind of turned them all into GameStops. I bet you they'll go back to like Funko Land or that other thing they bought out. I don't remember what it was called. I'm sure somebody listening knows what I'm talking about. They'll turn it into Funko Land, and then it won't be all about video games. It'll be like, here's some video game stuff, but here's a bunch of like phone stuff, because I guess they own Simply Mac. I did not know that. Simply Mac's a company, I guess, that makes Mac peripherals and cases and stuff like that. I think I've seen them around. But yeah, it's an interesting news story. We'll see what happens. I really doubt in 5 years you'll be walking into a GameStop, though. Just saying. Especially with the way that, like, internet connections are going. Downloading games is going to be so much more viable. And disc-based games are kind of just going to go away. So, sorry people that like discs, but they're going away. Going away. Anyway, next piece of news, Just Cause 3 might be a thing. And it might come in 2015. Now, I played some of Just Cause 1, and I remember it being really ridiculous and not very good. Never played Just Cause 2, but I heard really good things. I think I actually own it. I think I own it on Steam, to be honest. I think it's on, like, because I think I bought it for like $4 or something around when the multiplayer mod came out, and I never played it. I never even touched the multiplayer mod, which everyone said was like amazing. But anyway, I guess Christopher Sundberg, he's the creative officer at Avalanche Studios. He has an unannounced sandbox game on his LinkedIn profile that is supposed to be published by Square Enix, who published Just Cause 1 and 2. Or they did 2. I don't know if they published 1. They might have. But they definitely published number 2. And they're saying, it might be Just Cause 3, which would be cool. Especially if they build in the mod, like the Just Cause 2 multiplayer mod. If that came built into Just Cause 3 for consoles, man, that'd be so awesome. And for those of you that weren't around or don't remember, the Just Cause 2 multiplayer mod was a bunch of fans made a multiplayer mod for Just Cause 2 that basically let 200 people run around in the open world of Just Cause and play against each other. And apparently it was super awesome and ran really, really well, surprisingly. So if the developers, if some mod people can pull that off, I'm sure the developers could do it. I'm sure they may have hired them. I would. If I was working at Avalanche and I was going to put that multiplayer mode, I would track those guys down and be like, hey, you want to come help? Because That'd be cool. Kind of like what Valve does. When Valve, started working on Dota 2 and stuff, they got one of the original creators, and when they started doing Counter-Strike, they hired that guy, and a lot of, I think, the TF2 people as well, or the people who made the original Team Fortress showed up and all that. But yeah, that would be interesting. I kind of want to go back and play Just Cause 2 now. But yeah, I'm not sure. But that would be cool. It's like I said, this is a rumor. It's unconfirmed right now. I'm sure. I almost have a feeling we'll see it at E3, and it'll probably be at like Microsoft's press conference. That just seems like one of those games that would be, at the Microsoft press conference. I'm not like trying to say anything, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But it just seems like one of those games that Microsoft would show off. Next piece of news is basically the PlayStation Plus update for May. Not an amazing month, but not a bad month either, to be honest. The thing is, I own one or two of these games and already, so that's kind of a bummer when that happens. But at the same time, it makes me glad because they're good games, and I'm glad that more people are going to play them. So I'll stop keeping you on a thread. Anyway, there's going to be 6 games next month. First one is for PS4. So we're getting another PS4 game. It's called Stick It to the Man, which apparently was supposed to be pretty good. It's a puzzle platformer. I haven't seen anything. I was on DualShock show earlier, and Matt was talking about it. He said he saw some screens and some video. He said it looks really good. And I love puzzle platformers, so I imagine I'll like it. So that will be, I guess, not next week, but the week after. As soon as May starts, we're going to get Stick It to the Man. The other game, well, that's all PS4. So PS3 people are going to get Puppeteer, which I already own. I bought Puppeteer when it was on sale. Got it for like $7 or something? I don't know. I got it really cheap. Great game, though. Really kind of sent out to die by Sony of America. No marketing whatsoever. They just kind of pushed it out. It was like a $40 game. Or it might have $60. I don't know. But they pushed it out. Nobody really cared. I know there was some marketing in Japan because I remember seeing some big banner ads for it. Really, really beautiful game. Just visually, really awesome to look at. Pretty quirky humor. It's kind of kiddie, but it's actually a really good platformer. And if you've never seen Puppeteer, it just looks really cool. So it takes place on a stage, and each of the characters and your character are like a puppet. And you basically go from side to side and stuff, and the curtain will close and open, and new scenes come out, and platforms will drop down on strings, and you have big pair of scissors, and you cut strings, and you cut through enemies and all kinds of things, and it's just really cool. It's a really cool game. I mean, I already own it, but I am glad that other people are going to get to play it, and they'll get to play it for free. I think Sony kind of made a big mistake making it a retail game. I think more people would have paid attention to Puppeteer if it had just been a non-retail game. If it had just come out digitally here. I actually think more people might have bought it. But nevertheless, you're going to get to play it next month, or maybe you won't, but I would recommend you do, because I think it's freaking awesome, and people will like it. Also, if my voice sounds weird, I've been sick for a week. Which would be evident on one of the Pixel Powers had I put them up earlier. But, yeah, kind of sick, getting over it, but I think my voice sounds okay so far. And I haven't coughed all day. I've had a big cough, or I haven't coughed this whole episode, and I've been talking this whole time, carrying this all by myself. Haven't coughed yet. Of course, when I say that, I'm going to fucking start coughing. Anyway, next thing, I don't really know who. So this isn't for me, though. Okay, so we're getting Pro Evolution Soccer 2014. PlayStation 3, getting it for free. I don't really care about sports whatsoever. And I don't care about this game. I'm sure there are people who are going to download it and like it. And it's not as good as FIFA, apparently, but I wouldn't know, so I don't play those games. But if you like soccer a lot and you have PlayStation Plus, well, there you go. Get a free soccer game this year. Have fun with that. And then finally for the Vita, we are getting 2 games. We're getting Surge Deluxe, which I guess is a puzzle game. I don't know. And it involves electricity. I haven't seen it. I don't know. So I have no idea about Surge Deluxe. I know nothing about it, but hey, it's going to be free. Might as well download it and try it out, because there's been a lot of games on PS Plus where I'm like, I don't know if I'll like this, and then I download them, and I actually dig on them a lot. So you never know. Let's see. Oh, and the last thing that's coming out on the PlayStation Vita is, of course, Limbo, which is a great game. And if you've never played that, you're crazy, and you need to go do it. Limbo is a fantastic game. It was originally an Xbox exclusive. It slowly made its way to all other platforms. But yeah, Limbo is great, and it's a game everyone should play. It's fantastic, and it has a really dark ending that I won't spoil. But I recommend it. Go do it. And that is all for the PlayStation Plus update this week. Let's see. I know that there's something else. Oh, yeah. So, a Watch Dogs multiplayer trailer got released. Well, it's not really a trailer. It's more like it's like an intro video, sort of. It kind of explains how the multiplayer is going to work in Watch Dogs, which I think is pretty interesting. At least one of them. One of them I think is kind of lame. Another one I think is okay. And then another one looks freaking amazing. So it's like a 9-minute video. I recommend you go watch it. It's on YouTube. Just type in Watch Dogs multiplayer reveal or whatever, and you should see it. It's pretty recent. It came out like yesterday. So it's 9 minutes. So in the first video they show is the multiplayer mode we've been shown before, which I didn't really care for, which I was kind of hoping, like up until this point, I was like, man, I really hope I can turn multiplayer off because I don't care. But it involves like you walking around in your single player game, and then your other friend walking around in their single-player game, and it's like somebody on your friends list, and they can find you in-game and, like, start hacking you. And then you have to find them and kill them or hunt them down somehow, stop them from hacking your data. And it's like this cat and mouse kind of thing. It just didn't look fun to me. I don't know. It looked annoying. Like, I'm trying to, solve challenges or get collectibles or do my story, and then my friend comes dicking around in my game. It's like, I don't like that. That doesn't look fun to me, But the second mode they showed, which they haven't shown before, blew my mind. It looks so cool. So, it's kind of like, it looked like Capture the Flag, basically. But it's in, oh, there we go, coughing. It's like Capture the Flag, but it's in the single-player game. So, I don't know if I'm sure this audience watches E3 every year, but if you remember The Crew, which was Ubisoft's driving game where it seamlessly blended into multiplayer, like you'd go into a challenge and then everybody else that was in that challenge would all of a sudden blend in, and you'd all be competing, but it would be like you never left single-player. This is kind of like that. So, they show Aiden like he's going to this like warehouse. You have to, you're connecting to a game, and then all of a sudden you're on a team with all these other people. Now all these other people are going to do the same challenge you are, and they're all in single player, and all of them look like Aiden to themselves, but to everyone else, they don't. So when you're playing on your console, you're going to look like Aiden, but if your friend's playing with you, he's not. He's going to look like somebody else. Now, on your friend's thing, he's going to look like Aiden, but you will look like somebody else. And it's like you never left single player. You're just going to a challenge, and then all of a sudden, all these other people that are doing the challenge too are fading in, and they're trying to get into this warehouse to download this file. And on the other side, there's a bunch of other people that are fading in and trying to do the same thing. And all of a sudden, it becomes this capture the flag multiplayer match. And it's like you've never left single player. You just walk into this area, and everyone else that's in the area, it just phases in, and it's like you've come across this event in your single player game, but it's really multiplayer, which I think is really creative and cool. It's kind of similar to Destiny. If you guys remember the Destiny demo from E3, where it's the two people playing together, and then they go into the outside area, and it says open event, and then all of a sudden all these other players phase in, and all these ships start coming in, and jeeps. And then when it's over, they all kind of phase back out, and it's just you and your friend. It's like that, which I think is just, it's like such a cool way to do multiplayer, because you're not going back into the main menu like, let me go do this multiplayer. It's just kind of, it just kind of happens, and then when it's over, and if there's no loading screen or anything, you just, like, after it's over, you just you keep walking away, and then you just go do whatever you were going to do. That multiplayer looks awesome to me, and I think that mode looks super fun. So I actually can't wait for that one. The first mode sounded really lame, but this one sounds just super cool. The third one, which I'm a little, when I watched the video, I actually wasn't that excited about it. I was like, man, I don't know, It seems cool, but it's like not that great. But then I started explaining it on DualShock, and as I was explaining it, I'm like, that actually does sound kind of cool. So the way it works is, I guess one person's on their console. So let's imagine that you and I are playing. We'll talk one-on-one here. Let's imagine you and I are playing. You're on your, PS4 or Xbox One or PC or whatever, and you're playing as Aiden. And the goal for you in this, I guess it's some kind of challenge you have to enter, but the goal for you is you want to get from point A to point B, like some kind of race thing. However, you can't hack anything anymore. You don't have hack powers. I'm on a tablet or on my phone, and I don't have to be next to you, like connected on my phone or whatever, just with you. I can be like on the subway, on my iPhone or my Android or whatever, or on my iPad somewhere across the world, and we connect through the multiplayer mode, which it's going to be an app. It's like the CTOS app that you're going to download for your phone or your tablet or what have you. And the app is going to look like a map of the city, and you're going to be able to see the person you're playing against, so whoever's playing is Aiden, on the mini map or on the map on the tablet. And so if I'm playing against you, I'm going to be able to see you as like an icon on the map. Now, I have full hacking ability, and I control like the police helicopters and the police routes and all that. So my job is to stop you from getting from point A to point B. So you're going to be like driving, and I'm going to be trying to hack bridges and street lights to try and mess you up, and you have to try and avoid me from, I have to try and catch you, and you have to get away, basically. You have to get to point B. Now, when I first saw the video, I was like, man, I don't know. But then, after explaining it a bit, I was actually like, that actually sounds kind of fun. Like, it sounds like something I might do. My only issue is, how are you going to incentivize people to play on their iPhone or what have you? I'm not really sure. I don't know if there's going to be like unlocks that you get for the game. Maybe you connect it to like your Uplay account, and when you play on the phone, like you unlock in-game costumes or something. Like, that would be cool. I would actually mess around with that, but right now, it doesn't seem. It just seems like something you could do like once or twice, and then, I'm done. But it does seem pretty cool. It seemed pretty cool. But I definitely recommend that people go watch it. Just watch it on YouTube or whatever, wherever you get your news and all that. But yeah, I think Watch Dogs is gonna be cool. It's only a couple weeks away though, just nuts. It's crazy. It's only a couple weeks away. Just seems like yesterday that freaking game got revealed. Oh man, it's almost been a year and a half. Think about that. Think about how long it's been. It's been a year and a half since we first heard about Watch Dogs. That is nuts. Like that, even a year and a half. Like when Watch Dogs got unveiled, we didn't even know about the PS4 and the Xbox One. Like, just put that in some perspective for you. Dragon Age Inquisition now has a release date. I believe it's October 7th. I'm sure someone will correct me on that. I'm mixed. See, I'm excited about more Dragon Age. Here's the thing. Never beat the first two. I've started them both. I enjoy both of them. I'm not one of those people that hates on 2. I actually like 2 for different reasons. I like 1 for different reasons. But I've never beat them. I got pretty far in the first one, and then something else came out, and I ended up playing a bunch of stuff, and then when I came back, I had no idea what was happening. So I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to keep playing this. And then I had ended up starting playing 2, and I got not super far. Like, I played it for a bit. I played maybe like 4 hours of it and was enjoying it, but I don't know. I never got super far. So I don't know. I think Inquisition looks great. It looks beautiful. I love the dragons, how they were talking about in an interview that if you attack specific parts of the dragon, like it's going to affect the dragon differently. Like if you attack its legs, it's going to make it harder to walk. You attack its wings, it's going to make it harder to fly. I think all that is freaking great. Sounds fantastic. But I don't know. I want to beat the first 2, but I just don't have the time, And there's so many games coming out. It seems like every week there's something else that I've got to play just to keep up. And my recent addiction to Diablo 3 is not helping in any way. That and Titanfall. Diablo 3 and Titanfall have been just keeping me from everything. And then I restarted Final Fantasy VIII. This is like the 3rd time I've tried to play it. Hopefully this time I'll actually be able to do it. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. The next piece of news. I'm trying to find something here. Okay, so the last thing I'll probably talk about for this week's episode. How long have I been going? 30 minutes. That's not that bad. Shorter episode, obviously, because I've got no one to bounce off of, and it wouldn't be that bad if the news week wasn't so slow. If like some bigger stuff had happened this week, I would have more to talk about, but I don't. So, you got me. And I'm going to talk about this last piece of news, which is the PlayStation 4 1.7 update, which I believe we talked about on the last episode. Not sure. It has a release date in Europe now. There's not one in... never mind. Just see it. North America, same day. So, I guess that it is coming out on April 30th, which is next Wednesday. And this is a big update. It adds some pretty cool. It adds on to a current feature. It makes it much better. and then it takes away something where it takes away the block where you can't have an HDMI capture box basically connected to your PS4. I believe there's workarounds, but it's a pain in the ass. They're turning that off now, or you'll be able to turn it off. So you'll be able to, connect your Hauppauge box or your Elgato or something to the PS4 now and actually run it that way, which is great because now you don't have to use the on-console streaming options because you can't hear party chat or, what have you, anything like that. So that is one thing that's coming. You'll be able to turn that off. Also, they are adding in, or they're changing the video editing, which is when you push share and then you can trim clips or make them better. You can completely, there's a whole different thing you can do now, which is great. So you can, the editing suite has been changed dramatically. You can have overlays, you can have filters, you can have picture-in-picture commentary. Like if you have the PlayStation camera, you can talk with the camera and record it over the footage. Or you can have a narration over the footage, which is awesome. One thing that I absolutely love about this, though, is that you can plug in a USB hard drive, and when you're done with the video, you can load it onto the USB hard drive. Then you can take that to your computer, put it on YouTube, Vimeo, put it wherever you want, which is amazing. Because previously, you had to upload it to Facebook Video, which was a pain in the ass, and the resolution would get all screwed up and it'd be crappy. And then it's Facebook Video, and then if you wanted to put it on YouTube, you had to download the footage again using some weird apps or something off, with the Facebook URL, and the videos were huge file sizes. You don't have to deal with that anymore, which is great because that means getting footage for video reviews and stuff for people like me is going to be so much easier. So much easier, and it'll actually come in at a really good resolution, I hope. I imagine the resolution will be much better. So that is PlayStation 4 Update 1.7. That's coming out April 30th on all regions, so that's Japan, Asia, which is one territory now. And then Sony Europe and North America. So that'll actually be cool. I'm excited for that. I still really want Twitch archiving, which they promise is coming, but we still don't have it, which is it just seems like a no-brainer. If I'm streaming, I want my videos saved. It just seems like that should make sense, That should have been a priority, but it's not. When you stream, it just gets lost in the void, and it's well, now what? Actually, I do have one more piece of news. So, Minecraft is finally, I don't know if they actually announced a release date yet, but Minecraft is very soon coming to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, which is awesome, right? Another great thing that they've announced, too, is that you're going to be able to transfer your saves from both your Xbox 360 and your PlayStation 3 to the current gen versions. Yes, I'm saying current gen, okay? PS3 and Xbox 360 are done. They're last gen. Get over it. When I say current gen, I mean PlayStation 4, Xbox One. They're not next gen. They've been out for 6 months. Wrap your head around that right now. For 6 months, we've been playing these things already, and people are still calling it next gen. It's not next. It's out. It's been out for a long time. That's if you got the iPhone 6, and you were it's the next iPhone. It's no, it's the new iPhone. It is the iPhone now. All the other ones are old now. So get with the times. Anyway, you're going to be able to transfer your worlds and your characters and all that from the PS3 and the Xbox 360 version directly to current gen. So if you're on 360, you can take, that crazy village you've been building or that world you've been building, take it to the Xbox One, if or PS3 to PS4, vice versa, which is great. So although I think you have to buy the game all over again, I don't think there will be an upgrade option. It'd be great if there was, but I have my doubts, to be honest. I have my doubts that they'll let you upgrade. I could be wrong, though. Sony especially has been pretty generous, at least with their first-party titles. If you bought it on like Vita or something, you were able to download the PS4 one. They also did this with Dead Nation. If you had the PS3 version of Dead Nation, which was also a PlayStation Plus game a long time ago, wink wink. So if you were on PlayStation Plus a long time ago, the Vita one just came out. And guess what? If you have the PS3 one, you got the Vita one. So if you did get the PS3 one way back when, then you got the Vita one now, which is great. Because I booted up my Vita and I was looking at my games. I'm like, oh, I have Dead Nation on my Vita. And I've tried to play that game twice on consoles, and I can't do it on consoles. And it seems perfect. It seems like something I'd rather play on Vita. So I love that idea. Hopefully, Mohang already has so much money. It's like you should just let them transfer it for free. So we'll see. And actually, speaking of Minecraft, every time I keep talking, and then I realize there's more news. Mohang and it's Mohang, by the way, not Mojang. Mohang has announced that they're going to release a Minecraft subscription model. Now, hang on before you get super angry and you're like, but it's free. This is different. So if you bought Minecraft, you can keep playing it for free, whatever. And if you buy it in the future, you can keep playing it online for free, yada yada yada. What the subscription is you can pay Mohang directly, like $13 a month, which is cheap, and they will host a Minecraft server for you, which you can have your own. You can have all these crazy settings. I imagine you can download mods to them because, they're very open about mods and letting people mod Minecraft all the time. You can have password protected one. You can password protect your servers to keep like weird people out or are just going to destroy everything, which is also great because lots of kids play Minecraft, right? I know like it's kind of an everyone game, but most kids or most people playing Minecraft are kids. I'm not saying Minecraft's for kids. I own Minecraft. I like it a lot. I know a lot of other adults that own Minecraft that like it a lot too. I'm just saying the main audience for Minecraft is kids. Parents who are a little weary of letting their kids play online with people they don't know, this might make them feel more comfortable. Like if, one kid's paying the subscription, not every other kid has to pay the subscription to play on their server. They give them like a password, and that community of people, like a group of friends, can all just play together without having to worry about other people coming. And parents can feel safe knowing that their kids are only playing with their kids, which I think is great. And of course, you don't have to password protect your servers. It's just a feature, which if I had a Minecraft server, I'm not going to, but if I had one, I imagine I would not have a password on it just because I'm an adult and I don't care. And I would love people to just come in and, hang out. So I wouldn't care. But I see the value of having something like that. If I was a parent and I was a little weary of, my kid just playing with random strangers, especially on a game that's mostly populated by children, I would definitely have like a password protected server where, they had a password and they could give the password out to their friends like at school. And then their school friends can pop in and all that, which I think it's a great idea. And $13 a month is cheap. It's so cheap compared to like game servers. If you go out and try to buy a game, and then the setup is so convoluted and complicated. If you go, and I'm sure Mohang will have a really awesome, streamlined system that'll make it really easy to install mods, really easy to put a password on it, really easy to manage and all that, and it's only going to cost you $13 a month. I think that's a great deal. That's a great idea. I'm surprised they didn't do it earlier. So, and so that's happening. Now that we're talking about Minecraft, though, I don't know if this is going to be available for the 360 or the PS3 ones, because they run on Xbox Live and they run on the PlayStation Network. I have my doubts that you'll be able to have private servers on there. I can't imagine you would, but I'm pretty sure most people play Minecraft on PC. Although I know, like, the Xbox one sold like 10 million copies, and then the PlayStation one sold like 3 million copies, and I think it caught up to the Xbox One. I don't really know for sure. But yeah, I think this is a PC thing. I don't believe it's launched yet. I should probably look the story up too while I'm at it. I'm pretty sure it hasn't launched yet. So let's look. Let's figure this out. But nevertheless, it sounds like a cool feature. Sounds like if I was really into Minecraft, it's something I would put my money into. Here we go. It can host 10 players a month. And yes. So it's only planned for the PC one, but they're going to put it on the mobile one. They're going to add mobile support. So if you have Pocket Minecraft or Minecraft Pocket Edition, sorry. Then yeah. And this subscription service is called Minecraft Realms, which, and it's launched now. You can do this right now. See how much I did of pre-reading and pre-preparing for this show? I did absolutely none. I didn't even know the name of the subscription service. I was just like, Minecraft servers. So no, Minecraft Realms, you just log in, or you log in, pay the subscription, and you can have your own freaking server. Sounds amazing. Well, that's going to do it for the show this week. This has been the Pixel Power Podcast. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do that at PixelPowerPod. That's PixelPowerPod, no spaces, no caps, no underscores, all one word. That's on Twitter. If you want to send your questions to have them read on the air, you can send them to at PixelPower@VGU.TV. If you want to find great articles, videos, and other podcasts just like this one, you can head on over to VGU.TV. And remember to check the description for our sponsor to help us out and donate to the show when you can. And of course, head on over to VGU.TV. 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 Head on over to VGU.